Wow, do we have a Wonderkid for you guys today. A player who will be in most of your saves, shouldn't cost you too much money and is relatively cheap for the player you're getting, has some great starting attributes as well as some amazing potential, but actually not quite as much potential as his famous brother. Welcome to the video everybody, I'm Jake here for FMSCOUT and today is another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar where we take a Wonderkid in FM22, put them to the higher end of their potential range and see what kind of player you might potentially get in your save. I'm very excited for this one but I don't want to waste any more of your time, so don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy, subscribe and comment your rating for the player down below out of 10. And with that being said, let's head over to Portugal where we're going to find today's Wonderkid. Now I don't know what it is, but it seems every single Wonderkid to Superstar I'm doing at the minute has a player from Portugal in it. They must just be full of some great young talent over there currently. And in Benfica's under 23 squad, we will find, if we sort by age, where is he? Here he is, the 17-year-old Hugo Felix. Now you might recognise that last name on a Portuguese attacking midfielder who played for Benfica at a point of time and go, wow, that seems a lot like João Felix. Well, if all my sources are correct, this guy is supposedly João Felix's brother, and I think you can kind of see his brother in him, and whilst he might not go for the crazy money that he did to Atletico Madrid, Hugo Felix is definitely a player worth signing. The 17-year-old is valued at only a few £1,000,000 and at the age of 17, at least in this save, has some very good starting attributes. Physically, he is lacking and he will need work, but technically, particularly in that passing, vision and technique department, this guy has bags of talent. With some good dribbling, finishing and first touch as well, this guy can play in a variety of roles, whether it be through this attacking midfield position or a bit further back as a playmaker or mezzala in the midfield. So today we'll be seeing just how good he can do on the higher end of his potential range. Speaking of his potential range, you will find this guy with anywhere between 140 and 170 potential in your save. I think he is definitely value for money, and today we're going to bring him over to our Real Madrid side. Before we do though, this video is sponsored, so a quick word to our sponsors over at SPITCH. SPITCH is a fantasy football app available for people in the UK, Ireland, Germany and Austria over the age of 18. If you haven't heard me talking about SPITCH so far, it's a very cool app where, unlike normal fantasy football that takes place across the course of a season, you'll enter individual weekly tournaments. There's both free tournaments and paid for tournaments that you can enter, all of which have their own unique rewards. All you need to do to get involved is download the link in the description, which we of course would greatly appreciate. Then you'll be on the app, you might have to register and show your ID, and from there you're good to go. You can pick your team and select your captain for bonus points. Now SPITCH also has some very cool statistical analysis within it to help you pick your side. So if you think you've got some fantasy football knowledge in your locker, give it a go, see what you can do. And now let's get back to the video. Okay, so here we are and you'll see that Hugo Felix is now a Real Madrid player, and whilst his star rating doesn't look too great, don't take it into account too much right now. We're going to be forcing him to play as many matches as possible while holidaying for Real Madrid. I'll be setting him to double intensity training while focusing on the position that we're using him in this tactic, which is mezzala on attack. Now originally I did toy with the idea of playing him in the shadow striker role, but from experience when I put a player in there on holiday, without the hands-on management, these roles don't seem to do too well and it definitely needs a bit more tweaking, a bit more creativity, but I'm using a standard 4-2-3-1 gegenpress preset here with a couple of roles shifted around. No additional instructions on the player either, he's just going to be the mezzala on attack in our team and we'll see how well he can do. Because he is only 17 of course, you do actually have the ability to mould him into all of these roles. If he was 19-20, there'd be less of an ability to select his position the way that we're going to here with mezzala on attack. He's being mentored by some of the most talented players and some of the best mental prospects at the club, and hopefully that will help him develop a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to check in on him in a few years time, see how he's getting on, then see him at full growth and see what kind of career he's had. So with that being said, let's skip a few years in the future and see how Hugo Felix is doing. Okay, here we are. Hugo Felix is now 19, we're in 2023, and he's had 2 seasons playing first team football for the club. Now, for anyone shouting about it, yes, I know, no one would play Hugo Felix in this Real Madrid team in the position that he was at the age of 17. It's not how football works, but for these videos, we like to see the players at their best, and so we will develop them in such a way. Chances are, if Hugo Felix doesn't get given the opportunity in your save, he might never develop into the player that he can potentially be. And speaking of potential, currently, see, Hugo Felix is at 130 current ability rating here, which means he's still got another 10 current ability rating until he reaches what will be the minimum potential in any of your guys' saves. And we can already see he was certainly worth the investment, and his attributes have flown through the roof. Physicals are now very good in a lot of areas. He's looking like he's developed very nicely in that aspect, as most players will in those ages between 17, 18 and 16. Mentally, he's doing very well too, developed in a lot of the areas that you'd want him to, with great finishing, off the ball work, composure, anticipation and decision making. His passing and technique are outstanding as well. And then add in some other good technical attributes in there like his dribbling, and we are starting to develop a top tier player. Now capped for the under 21s in Portugal, he's not setting the world alight just yet, but he's got the attributes that give me an idea that he will be a lot better going forward. 2 seasons played and he's hit just over 20 goal contributions in La Liga alone. For £3 million, he certainly looks worth the deal, with 2 6.87 average match ratings, which whilst it isn't very good just yet, he's got a lot of potential to keep it up. So how will he do in the next few years? That's the real judge of his character. Let's have a look at Hugo Felix at his maximum. Okay, here we are. It's 2029 and Hugo Felix is a key player in our squad, but just how well has he done? Well, we're going to find out in a few seconds, but firstly, I'll take this opportunity to let you guys know about my channel, where we have a Villarreal save going on. They're currently 3rd in 2029. If we could be doing that well, I'd be very happy. It's actually not going too well so far. There's only a few episodes out if you want to join in and see how it's going, but you guys have supported it immensely. Any support on my channel, linked in the description, will be greatly appreciated. We're aiming for 8,000 subscribers pretty soon over there. So if you want to check that out, feel free, but I know you're really here to check out Hugo Felix and to see how he's got on. Well, at the age of 25, he's at his maximum of 170 current ability, and he has turned into an unbelievable player. Physically, very well balanced with some great pace, acceleration and agility. Mentally is arguably his best area, with no weaknesses at all really, and some of these attributes are at a crazy level of 16s, 17s and even 18s in some cases, whilst everything else is at least an 11, 12 or higher. Technically, he's very impressive too. He's got a good set piece on him now. He can take penalties, free kicks and corners alongside some great technique. Passing, which along with that vision makes him very dangerous in a playmaking sense. Dribbling, finishing, first touch is all at a good level as well, and whilst he would be a very good attacking midfielder as we saw earlier, he can actually play pretty much any role across this midfield to an extremely high level. We can see he has perfected that Mezzala role with all of the highlighted attributes being at a very good level, and that has now led to him being an immense player for the club, better than Rodri and Valverde, valued at around £80 million. He has been incredible in his last few seasons. You can see here in some of these seasons he's hitting 30 plus goal contributions, even 40 goal contributions in this season here, where he's got a 7.86 average match rating across the course of the season. After we last saw him, he played half of the season, I assume due to injury, and then from there he really started to shine, playing pretty much every single game, getting plenty of goals and assists, and he's been at a super high level in particular over the last 3 or 4 years now that he's fully developed, as you would expect. So he's been setting the world alight, but how will he do in his full career? Let me quickly fly a few years in the future and show you what he looks like in his final few seasons. There you go guys, another 6, 7, 8 seasons, whatever it is, from where you last saw him, and he has been even better than before, sometimes hitting over an 8 average match rating, getting very close to 8 on other occasions as well. Hitting 30 plus goal contributions every season in the league alone. This guy is just playing at an incredible level right now, starting to decline a little bit, but you can understand that now that he is 34 years of age. With 108 appearances for the Portuguese national team, he's got 25 goals for them, and he was also a star for the under 21s. At this point, I imagine he's outshone his brother João Felix in this save at least, and he has done incredibly well. But has he got any awards? Before we finish up this video, let's take a look. We can see he has actually won a Ballon d'Or on one occasion in 2032. I'm not exactly sure if that is the Ballon d'Or one, but either way, he's also won World Player of the Year on another occasion, also in 2032. So I imagine putting them two together, one of them is certainly the Ballon d'Or. Even at the age of 32, he was getting close to winning the award again, and he was 3rd place for the last few years, always in and around some of the best players in world football. But Hugo Felix has turned into an incredible talent who is definitely worth the valuation of what, £3 million to sign him, and that was when he was on the higher end of his potential range. You should be able to find him in your save at Benfica. To let you guys know, in this save I had the Spanish league loaded and also the Portuguese 1st Division equation loaded with the database and the top right set to large database. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. He should be in a lot of your guys' saves. I imagine if you've got Portugal loaded, he will be. And he is just a must-sign player in my opinion. Even if he never develops to this level, he's still definitely worth the investment. I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you would rate him. And don't forget, if you have enjoyed, to like and subscribe. Thank you to SPITCH for sponsoring the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.